And now, podcasting from the sun-scorched desert Southwest, weighing in at a combined total of 340 pounds, Brad Winchester, Tyler McDowell-Blanken, are Gimmick Infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell-Blanken. Tyler, it is spring. It's the end of April. It's almost May here. This is crazy. How are we doing today?
I'm recovering, Brad. I've been dealing with the cold all week, and I like to think I'm relatively tough. Like I have a high pain tolerance, but this cold has just been messing with me, man. I don't know if it's work stress. I don't know if it's watching my beloved Phoenix Suns just evaporate in front of our very eyes. But there have been a few days this week where I woke up and either my throat was sore, or I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can't hear out of my left ear today. This should be a great day. But luckily, I was not going to miss GI. I am feeling better. The Suns are still about to get bounced. As we're recording this, actually, this is the afternoon heading into Game 4. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe they'll win. But point being, I'm excited to be here. I'm happy to see you, and I want to know what's going on with you. How you been?
I've been good, Tyler. The man flu is a real thing. Your intolerance to it was a 2017 British Medical Journal review that found that there's actually a lot of studies that were conducted that men have a weaker immune response to viral respiratory infection. So
wow,
when you get
2017.
sick, 2017, 2022, there's been more confirmation. Texas researchers found some stuff, and it's basically, man flu. It's a thing. We're babies when it comes to viral infections, which is our. And when women are like, I just don't understand why you're being such a baby about it. It's because we can't.
My whole senses are off. Like I can't.
Well, that's the thing. It's like my thinking about my father-in-law who asked for a Band-Aid when he cut his leg with a chainsaw, and it required a bunch of stitches. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a real thing that happens.
This is Chuck.
This is Chuck. Yeah.
Chuck.
Wow. Yeah. I was out in the bedroom, just out. I had some allergies, and I took a couple Benadryls and went for a little Nenite ride. This is before we had Freya, and I heard this voice, this timid voice. Hey, Brad, you got a Band-Aid or something? And it came out with a Band-Aid. One. Because he asked for a Band-Aid.
Little store brand, yeah. Kroger brand Band-Aid.
Yes. Great value, sticky Band-Aids, like junk, And I go out there, and his leg is just covered in blood. He's got blood dripping down into his shoe, which also had a cut in the side of it. Luckily, it didn't hit his foot. It was like, I was like, oh my God, go to the hospital. What are you doing? What are you doing here, man? Your leg meats are hanging out. Like, go get out of here.
Is he a Terry Funk fan?
Yeah, he must be. Yeah, he doesn't even know it.
Okay.
But I also know that if he gets a cold, he's going to be down and out for 2 weeks. So it's one of those things where I think the toughness happens with other kinds of pain. I'm a baby around everything. My hands hurt. This morning, I must turn the car around on the way to the gym because it hurt to look left or right with my eye, because that's a thing that happens with my autoimmune stuff. It just feels like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like anybody that's ever gotten an eye poke, it's like that, but just for no reason. And
anybody who's faced for Ric Flair or MJF,
Terry Funk, just into the eye. Yeah. It's exactly. It's like
wrestling references.
Yeah. So it's like, ow. It was hurting. And then I got to the gym and I blew my nose 15 times because I'm also getting over stuff. And like, I don't know what, just knocked some of that pressure out of there. My ear was popping. Same thing. I don't know what's going on. I'm a mess. I've been a mess for 6 months, but whatever. We're still out here doing it.
We are, man. I'm proud of us. And not
without the man flu though.
Without the man
get a little bit sick, yeah.
Not all is bad here. In fact, there's a lot of good. Brad, I think it's time we get into it. I want us to talk some gratitude to kick off our episode. Play the music.
And now it's time for a little self-reflection. So, think about yourselves. Or something.
Gratitude, man. It's back. Brad, this has been a long time coming. This happened weeks ago at this point, actually. It was WrestleMania weekend. We obviously had a WrestleMania episode. We talked about the grand spectacle that was. But I recognize that that trip, obviously I drove down to Tucson for WrestleMania. Didn't see you, but I will see you at some point very soon. But I caught up with George and Tony and some other folks. Carl Siegloff, one of our old teacher colleagues, shout out to him. I saw Gail Thorbertson, the amazing Gail. Shout out Marana High School and the English department. But anyway, man, it was my first trip to Tucson. I calculated this in about a year and a half.
Wow.
And yeah, and so this was kind of a fairly emotional drive for me, especially when I actually got into town. When I passed all the new construction and everything, when I got into town and I drove by the U of A, I drove by the old apartment on First and Prince. I ate Smokey Mo's barbecue.
Of course.
In case they're looking to sponsor a podcast, Smokey Mo's. Spend many dollars there. I went to Smokey Mo's. I just passed like all these landmarks, Brad, and I don't know what it is about. Well, I think I do know what it is about Tucson. I just spent 10 years of my life there and I met so many amazing people, and I just hadn't been back in so long that there are new buildings, there are new places, things look different. Like, it just made me feel really emotional about it all, and yet grateful for the experiences and the people in my life that still live there. I know you have a trip coming up very soon, right, to a place outside of Arizona. Actually, that means a lot to you. I know you even attended a celebration of life that also left you with some gratitude. So I'm feeling grateful, and I believe you are as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I got to celebrate a friend passing, Carol Major. We got to talk about just what a great person she was, for how she cared for her students and how she cared for her friends. She was very loyal, hilarious, complicated, all of these things. And it was just great to see all these friends and colleagues and kind of celebrate her life. And made me very thankful that I got a chance to reconnect with some retired colleagues as well that I don't get to see as much. And we got to make some plans for the summer. Excited about that. We're going to go bowling like we did back in the day. So it'll be a good time. This time Freya will be with. And yeah, the trip coming up, I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful that I get to see my niece graduate. But Tyler, I haven't talked to you about this, and I said I'm grateful, but I had some news about the theater, and the bond came through clutch. We are getting all of the upgrades that I wanted to have in the theater, in the space. They're rewiring everything, new electrical, new sound, new speaker equipment, new video. We're getting a new projector, a new screen. And I talked to the welding classes, and they're going to give us a new apron. So those brown wooden slats that screw into the concrete, which isn't actually true. They screw into the wood that is wedged between the two concrete slabs. That's how it's attached there, but it's all torn up from just 50 years of abuse, and it's time to upgrade it and repair some of that. So got a lot of really good things, but I'm grateful for people willing to do the work, and I'm grateful that the people of Marana and the area around it were like, yeah, those spaces are important. It's time for some upgrades. When the general came and gave a speech to us earlier this year, and he looked out into the auditorium and said, yeah, this looks exactly the way it did when I went here. Nothing's changed. And he was right.
I remember that.
And he was right. And I thought, like, even the sound panels that are in the two pods, the North Pod and the South Pod, which I'm sure you're familiar with, I was like, okay, those look so much better than the ones that are out in the auditorium, until I realized they look better because they got painted. Tyler, you can't paint sound panels. That makes them a hard surface. So they're just walls now. So it's just dumb.
Repurpose.
They look great, but they're completely worthless functionally. So I don't know if they're putting any of that up. I don't know if they're going to change that. I hope at some point they do, because it looks just dreadful. But I think that's part of the sound redesign, is that they're going to be working on those things, and really excited about it. But just grateful to have support of a community and administrators and other people, so that we can have a space we can all enjoy for years, not just immediate use, but for decades.
And dare I say, Brad, and I know, like, man, you've left such a legacy there. Dare I say, these improvements are going to be there even after your tenure is over, right? For students. Yeah. I mean, hopefully like 5, 10, 15 years, even longer from now, can benefit from this.
Yeah. At least 2 years. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Education, I mean, you and I talk about it off air and on air all the time. It really is just one of those professions that truly takes a village. I don't mean to go total Pinterest about this, but the community, I mean, just logistically, parents and guardians, we need their support, but then community when it comes to voting, when it comes to money changing hands and being invested, resources invested at the school. We just, like you said, we can't do it alone. So my hat's off to you always and your colleagues for doing the amazing work that you are.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, man, it's time. I mentioned WrestleMania. Of course, we're weeks at this point removed from it. There's a lot going on in WWE always. Are you ready for my question?
I am ready. Let's go.
Okay, let's make this happen. Like I said, so much is happening right now, Brad. Here's my list. Becky Lynch became champ. Trick Williams became champ. That was a really great episode of NXT. Speaking of NXT, Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes were drafted, the latter of whom main evented SmackDown against Cody Rhodes. We're getting Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton in France at Backlash, which, by the way, is this Saturday somehow already.
Yeah.
And final note, Freya's favorite, Bianca Belair, #1 overall draft pick, might I add. Shout out to her. Brad, my question is pretty straightforward. Which superstar won the week for you?
Well, it wasn't Cody or Carmelo.
It doesn't have to be from that list, by the way. If you have a different selection, I'm here for it.
I have a harder time coming up with who won the list than who lost because of all the cuts, which is a pretty typical post-Mania.
We didn't talk about that
thing to happen.
Jinder, Xia Li, Zion Quinn, Cameron Grimes.
I was going to say a couple of weeks ago, I brought up Cameron Grimes. Where is Cameron Grimes? And now we know where he is.
How are you feeling about what?
I was really sad.
How are you feeling about?
I feel like he's I don't know, a perfect lock for TNA with a character like that, right? Like that makes all the sense in the world.
World title contender.
100%.
Maybe he's the guy to beat Moose for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. He seems like a perfect fit over there. Would go right in and immediately fit. Of course, I'd love to see him in AEW or something, but I just feel like TNA is a perfect place for him to land. I'm gonna say it's got to be Tiffany. It's got to be Tiffany. The way that ended, like it has to be, right? Like
I'm
it's
listening.
It's time. It's Tiffy time.
It's time, Brad. It's good time. Is she gonna win? Is she leaving with gold? Too soon?
It feels too soon, but why not? She's hot with the crowd, but I don't know. I don't know because WWE does some old school style things where they're going to make you wait. And because look what happened with LA Knight. Nothing was hotter in the WWE, and then they poured water on the fire a little bit, and now a lot of it. And I would like to see it happen because how to make an immediate star, put the belt on her. But I wouldn't be saying that because I thought Nia Jax was a lock to win that. I'm actually so surprised. So Becky as a transitional champ makes complete sense here because if she loses, nobody's going to care. It's not going to hurt her at all. And I think it would make Tiffany Stratton, especially in a match that I just think it would look great. So I'm going to go ahead and say she's going to win it. Wow. Do I believe it in my heart? No. Do I care? No. Also no. But I'd like to see it for my own selfish reasons. That's because I think she's awesome.
I'm not mad at that. She is awesome, and she's really resonating with the crowd. For me, I have two people that come to mind. Have you caught any of this WWE Speed on X?
Yes.
That 3-minute Jones?
Yes. It's awesome.
What are your thoughts?
Well, it's not always awesome, but I really like the idea behind it.
Really? Unironically awesome. Okay.
Unironically, like if the WWE is going to be like, if they're going to look at AEW and think that there's going to be a threat there, let's just pack an AEW match into 3 minutes and have our WWE stars be on there. Cause that's essentially what they're doing in this thing. Right.
Well, I'm just happy Ricochet is featured. I think he's for sure going to be the first champion of this. He was one of my winners. Please continue.
But no, that's it. Because Ricochet is exactly who I was thinking of when you said it. When I said that, because
he's built for this. This is his title.
And all of the other Lucha Underground people that are over in AEW. which is why I was like, oh, this fits perfect for somebody
Yeah.
like him. Or
You know what? I didn't
yeah,
think we were going to agree on this. I'm actually here for it as well. I'm
I like
really
it. Yeah.
curious to see what they do, especially since one of my faves
It
is
gets more
spotlighted.
talent out there. It gets people exposed. It's only a
It
couple of
does.
minutes, so they don't have to worry about advertisers as much.
Yeah.
They
And I would
and
imagine it's
there's
reaching a lot of people. Like
yes,
how many hours does our audience spend on these apps per week? It's just we spend a lot of time on there.
and that's why I like when they go like, hey, that full match or whatever match is going to be I think the coolest thing about AEW doing the buy-in and doing 0 hour and those kinds of things is that they put that stuff up on YouTube, and then it's successful. People will go watch it because it's free, it's online. And then if you can't afford the pay-per-view, at least you get to see some stars in action. And WWE is doing the same thing, but they're using a much better platform because you could be randomly scrolling through it because you're just checking Twitter, and maybe at some point you looked up The Rock and the algorithm was like, hey, this is live right now. And then you check it out. Now they got new eyeballs on the product. And it just seems like from a marketing standpoint, WWE is just absolutely on fire right now. And they don't do everything that I love, but it's undeniable what they're doing is working, and it's really good. They've gotten me to like Logan Paul. That's a feat that I didn't think
I
would
was
ever
gonna
be.
say I've been seeing some posts from you about Logan Paul
Yeah,
as of late.
yeah. Well, the gender reveal. Well,
Complimentary post.
one complimentary post. Let's.
Not Prime. We haven't gotten you to try Prime, which I hope you don't.
I
Because
almost bought it
I'm sure
this morning, but
because the marketing for Prime has been awesome.
well, it
I
was
was looking at that ice pop thing for weeks, Brad, thinking
you had it right.
I had it.
Was it any good?
No, it was so bad. I didn't even finish the whole bottle, and I'm not being facetious because I've come around on some of Logan Paul. I've accepted that he's really good at this, and he's a smart marketer. Ice pop tastes like Hawaiian punch plus that cherry medicine you take when you
Ugh.
have a sore throat. I would
Ugh.
know this because I've been taking it. Plus pool water, chlorine. It's awful.
Well,
Don't or
the pool
try
water, I guess you got to get your electrolytes.
exactly. Just at least do this for me, Brad, because I know you're gonna buy Prime. I know this is gonna happen.
I don't think I'm
Just
gonna
try a
now.
different flavor. I know ice
Okay.
pop looks delicious. It's not. Please try a different flavor and let me know.
Well, we'll see. Is it sugar free?
I think so.
If it's
I
not,
think
I'm not
so.
trying it. But
No, I think it. I think
okay.
I think the gimmick is it's electrolyte city, sugar free, gluten free.
Well, I mean, like I retweeted that dude had a gender reveal party. Did you see it?
No. I saw you. Okay, I'm putting myself on Front Street. I saw you quote tweet it. I saw like, oh, it's a gender reveal match, and I liked the tweet, but I didn't actually investigate.
Well, that's all it was. It was. I don't even think they
Oh,
showed
there
the
wasn't any
outcome in the
video.
clip. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a clip there.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's a match. It's a gender reveal match. It was
Those
like
are amazing. I'm
pink
here
trunks
for it.
versus blue trunks. Huge
Yeah.
crowd.
Yes.
They're wearing
Okay.
pink shirts and
I'm
blue
here for
shirts.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, that's an awesome way to go, and they were all invested in it. It was dope. I thought that was really really cool. And then I saw him doing a defense about plastic bottles and a lawsuit coming their way or something about Prime, and he went in on them about like, no, this is how it's manufactured. You're wrong. Here's what we know. Here's how we test. Here's what we do. Here's how we know. Also, I'll accept your apology. You have 24 hours or enjoy the giant lawsuit headed your way. And I was like,
Our
all right.
United States champion.
And I just went, all right, he's now a babyface in my eyes after that.
Wow. This is
He went
when
to
we
bat.
get to our end of the year list, this must be addressed.
He went to bat for his people and his company. And I know he's going to bat for his money, and that's really what it is. But like defending it and being like, no, I'm not hurting kids. It's why the other lawsuit got thrown out. It was just unfounded, I guess. And that made me go, oh, maybe people hate on this guy because they haven't gotten over the Japan thing. After he apologized and seems to have regrets and seems to have grown from it. I don't like his thing. I don't like his show. I don't like the kind of character he puts out there, but I don't hate him either. And it's, I probably wouldn't have even looked at him any other time if it hadn't been for him being in the ring and then being really, really ridiculously good at this. And maybe it's a judge a book by its cover thing, because I was immediately like, yeah, Michael Vick served prison time. I don't care if he's out there now. Like dude did prison time I'm not going to be out there going like the dogs at him. Dude served prison time for this. Like, I can't be one to believe in second chances and then not give them. So that's where I am on that. So maybe the winner this week was Logan Paul.
Well said. It might be. And my final candidate, and then I want to hear your question. Drew McIntyre re-signing with WWE. Drew has been, always will be a favorite of mine. I think he's really had one of the best years of his career over these last 12 months, especially on the build to Mania. So I'm really thrilled that we'll
character-wise, especially, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. He's just, I mean, he's always had it in ring, but yeah, adding the character part now, I can't wait to see what he has in store. So I think that was great for WWE, and certainly great for Drew that he got the bag. He earned it.
Yeah, I think it's great. Okay, Tyler, the draft is in full swing. Okay. I saw this going around a lot. I want to get your opinion on the matter. Because the draft eats so much time in the on-screen product, it takes away from the in-ring product. Do you care?
No, I don't think I do. Usually I'm one who wants to see in-ring more than backstage and other segments, but I guess I'm really into the whole draft concept. I did like when they went to the war rooms for Raw and SmackDown. Yes. And on SmackDown you saw Bubba Ray Dudley, who somehow looks just like Alex Jones now.
He looks exactly like Alex Jones. Yes.
Deeply disturbing.
Yes, it's crazy.
InfoWars, like this was giving, I was happy to see Bubba Ray. I like seeing Devon. We even had Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, Teddy Long was in the SmackDown room. I actually, Brad, I make an exception. I really actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole leaning into the draft. Obviously, this is on Fox, so there's a lot of NFL overlap. I was actually fine with it this week. I didn't see a huge issue, and I think part of that was because I love that Carmelo got the main event spot against Cody Rhodes. I thought that was a really great way to use him on his first official night as a member of the roster. Braun Breaker got some action. Again, we mentioned the ladies, Naomi versus Tiffany. I was actually okay with it for this particular special.
Yeah, I don't care. I think it's great. I think it's different, and different is good.
It is.
So they don't get enough criticism for having random matches compared to the criticism AEW gets for random matches. But this is the thing that serves telling stories, and you can't set up the potential stories without having the draft and going like, this is why they're going to that place. This is why they're showing up over there. Here are the people that are free agents. Here are the people that get to float, all of that stuff. I love that stuff. I think it works, and I think it's great. I actually like the character interactions, especially with legends, and I have no problem with it whatsoever. I think it's great. I also think it's cool that they're coinciding with the NFL draft, which there will be probably questions about that later on, or at least in our what did we miss this week.
Oh, I'm certain of it. Actually, I have it on my notes.
Likewise.
We will be getting to that. Brad, I have a surprise question for you right here, right now. What do you remember about the year 2003? Does that stand out to you for any reason? Any seminal life moments or memories?
2003 was the year I got my associate's degree, and it was the year I transferred to Northern Michigan University. 2003. What else? What the hell else happened in 2003? Oh man, that's the way back.
I know you were listening.
You're making me go back.
You were listening to. Didn't we reference this a few episodes ago? Lil Jon, get low. You spent some weekends in venues and establishments that were playing that song.
Yeah, that first year in
I was probably right around 2003, 2004.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Speaking of, right around that time. I'm trying to think of like what I'm going through music. I'm going through all these things. Yeah. Man, I can't remember. Larry Brown, coaching the Pistons.
Do you want to get? I promise this is going somewhere. Do you want to guess what the number one Billboard song was that year?
I do not.
It was 50 Cent, In the Club.
It was In the Club. Okay.
Do you remember in the video where he was on the treadmill upside? Yeah, it was.
Of course.
Well, Brad, not only was 50 Cent starting his career and really becoming a superstar in music that year, but our sponsor, Grand Patio, was just beginning to launch their company and create their legacy as well. As you may have heard, Grand Patio exists to ensure you're all set for the great weather and great memories this spring. Again, for over 20 years, Grand Patio has partnered with renowned designers to create livable and luxurious collections that can transform your backyard into a personal oasis. You know their bag is deep. Their products include umbrellas, recliners, gazebos, sectionals, and much more. This is key. Visit our affiliate link, grandpatio.sjv.io/GIPod. Once again, and it is case sensitive, all lowercase, grandpatio.sjv.io/G, capital I, capital P, lowercase OD to shop their collection today.
Well, I did not expect that to happen.
You gotta keep you on your toes.
Well done. I was like 2003, man. 21 years. I was a drinking adult, one drinking adult ago, and I'm almost to my second drinking adult here coming up here. So half my life ago, it feels like, I had nothing. Did not know that Grand Patio was just starting up. They're in a much better state now. And Tyler, it is time once again for the state of 19 media. So let's get into it.
Late breaking news from the world of 19 media.
Join Carmen and Jessica of Small Town USA for their latest episode, The Town with the Left-Handed Whopper. They unravel a tangled web of pranks to discover the history behind April Fools. Check them out today.
Do you love fantasy golf? Mo continues to drop gems on his show, Hidden Gems Golf. His recent episodes covered the Texas Children's Open, the Masters, and more. Be sure to subscribe to listen to his insight before the next big match.
Really wanted a better showing from Tiger, and I watched some of the Masters, but man, I'm just glad that he was there and that he can walk around and his back's okay. Well, back's healthier than what it was. Hip to the Games, Desmond Powell's brainchild, is now on YouTube. Check out the latest episode to hear his thoughts on the first round of the NBA playoffs.
There's never a dull moment in Lakerland. Join Ricky, Kwame, and Omar of Late Night Lake Show to hear their thoughts on the latest news surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers. They're battling the defending champs, and some huge questions could await this offseason. So don't miss out.
Speaking of the association, Warren and Cal of the Baseline NBA podcast released a new installment of their signature autopsy report, analyzing what went wrong and where the Warriors, the Bulls and the Kings and the Hawks go from here. Is it over, Tyler, for the Warriors?
It's over. I think so, man. I don't know if they move Clay. That's the thing. Yeah. Or I guess Clay would have to take a pay cut, presumably. I also don't want to bet against Steph. I don't know, Brad. I don't know. This is why we got to check out Warren and Cal. We got to hear their expertise because I do not know. But speaking of the association, Warren. Oh no, that you just read Warren and Cal. Speaking of Warren, much love to him for the work he's doing over at Dope Interviews. I'm going to blame it on the cold. He interviews notable figures in the world of entertainment and sports. You can check out his recent conversation with two cast members from the show BMF as they discuss season 3.
Man, shout out to Gerald Brown, host of Heavy in the Paint. Gerald welcomed NBA veteran Charlie Vell to discuss his career and the current state of the Milwaukee Bucks. Tune in.
Finally, some more love to Mike Steff, multi-time GI guest and fellow podcast host. Check out his show, The Salty Thoughts of Mike Steff, for passionate commentary, the most passionate commentary, I would argue, on the latest news in sports, pro wrestling, and New York politics. He and Mo co-host Hidden Gems Football, and Mike continues to publish new pieces on his blog. Thank you for always supporting the show, Mike. We appreciate you greatly.
Tyler, it's time to hit me with your AEW question.
Yeah, man. So there's a lot. Hold on. Let me find my proper notes here. There's a lot I want to cover with AEW, but I will try to do it efficiently. Aside from Dynamite's audio issues, I loved what we
Oh,
saw in AEW
yes.
this week.
I
I
don't know
thought
why
it was
we were
just
getting.
me at first, and
No,
then
they had the in arena, and I don't know why
That's
they had the
right.
feeds mixed wrong. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened there,
and I
but
guess we blame it on TBS apparently, not
yeah, that's a production
at the
issue. But
TBS. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know, man. Those wires are going into the truck, so I don't know that it's a TBS thing
it was
because
rough.
it was just getting the echoey speaker. It sounded like
Yeah,
the speaker above the ring was picking up the in. Yeah, I don't know, man.
right,
It was rough.
right.
It was
Yeah,
rough.
no, it was rough, but I love what most of what we saw on AEW this week. Aside from that issue, I'm still working through my feelings, admittedly, on the Jericho learning tree, but
Woof.
but I'm happy Big Bill is back on TV. Two words stood out to me most: story progression. We saw an in-ring segment between Willow and Mercedes.
Yep.
Trent defeated Chuck in a parking lot fight. I was wrong about Chuck, by the way, and his intentions. Totally wrong. He did not side with Trent. Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo. And GYV even made their company debut. But I have to ask you about the epic conclusion to Dynamite. Jack Perry made his long-awaited return to TV, officially joining the Elite. Perry hit Tony Khan in the gut with a microphone.
The back
To-
bump, man.
Tony Khan's cell was just.
What a ridiculous sell.
I wonder if he did that intentionally.
I
Like,
think he wanted to take a bump, right? Like he wanted to take a flat
and then he
back bump,
remembered, oh, I got to.
and then he's like, "Oh, I should grab my stomach." Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
I think you can already tell my thoughts on it. I thoroughly enjoyed all of
yeah.
this.
It was amazing.
Then so Perry hits Tony Khan in the gut with the microphone. We know that. But then the Young Bucks hit a TK driver on Tony Khan, on the namesake. And meanwhile, Okada is pleased with all of it. It's been not even just a few days. It's been several days since this happened. Brad, what are your thoughts on the direction of this angle?
I love it. Absolutely love it. This is exactly what it needed. This I don't like when Tony Khan's on the screen. He said he's never going to be an on-screen character, and I think that that's still true. I don't think he's going to be an on-screen character. I think he'll be back in Gorilla when he's quote back. I think this was just a let me take the bump for the angle. Basically, I'm there to be a prop that has some gravitas, and then he got murdered, and then went to the back and was completely fine. The thing that I loved about it the most was not only is this so good for Jack Perry and the Bucks and making them look terrible, that the pop for Kenny Omega this week coming back on Dynamite when they made a very big, obvious, over the top, who's going to be in charge? Well, it's got to be the EVPs. Well, there's one other EVP, and he's coming to Dynamite to talk after being fired from the Elite. TK is definitely giving Kenny Omega full general manager control for the time being. So I'm sure so Kenny can heal and still be on TV and stuff. And who knows, maybe he is healed up at this point. I don't know, but absolutely here for it. But the big thing is that this carried over and got national exposure because TK sold the injury with a neck brace in the Jacksonville draft box the entire time with the draft. The part that I hated was the Harvey Weinstein, however you say it, comment. Really disliked that, but also not wrong. It's just, I didn't like that he took a shot at the WWE that way when he should have been taking a shot at one person. And that's the part that I didn't like, because it's like, I don't know how I would feel if I were a wrestler over there and having that lobbed at me because I'm part of that company. And if you're going to have talent from them working for you at any point, that's, I don't know, you just kind of lobbed a grenade in their direction too. But it's also wrestling, Tyler, and I'm not a wrestler. I'm not backstage, and I don't know how it lands with me. I probably think it's awesome. If I'm a pro wrestler, I also don't know if I'm a male pro wrestler, if I'm happy about it. So who knows? I have no idea. All I know is that Rich Eisen talked about it a bunch, knew what the heck happened. Tony Khan got interviewed about football and about AEW. And I thought that was exactly what they needed. And people are going to tune in to see what's going on. And I thought if Saturday was the day that they came and tuned in, since the draft was officially over at that point, maybe they got some eyeballs to stick, because it was a pretty good show.
100%. Yeah, I thought this was great. It was so jarring when I saw it the first time that I think even that night I ran it back a few times. So we talked about Tony's cell off the microphone punch, but then his cell when he received the TK driver, I mean, he was just a corpse in the ring, and then his father
They dragged him
comes out.
around like he was just
Yeah,
like a piece of wood.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so silly. It's maybe sophomoric of me, but it just made me so happy. Like this is wrestling. It's supposed to be silly,
huge
and
pop for him.
dramatic. And and his dad comes out, and then the rest of the locker room comes out. Carly Bravo was next to Tony's father, and I just really enjoyed what was going on there. Yeah, man, it's a great angle. Like you said, it kind of even, Brad, makes me think back to our conversation in wake of the All In London footage being shown, and there was a lot of criticism levied at Tony Khan for that decision. But I think, like a lot of things in life, maybe this is just another example of you really have to be patient and, dare I say, let the process play out, because now I agree with you. It's done wonders for Jack Perry. I would argue the footage plus what we saw on Dynamite, I wouldn't be mad if Jack Perry faces Swerve at Double or Nothing for the title. I would think Perry needs to stack up some wins before then if we're going to abide by the ranking system. But Jack Perry is a big deal now, and the fans are loving the Elite. Brad, there were maybe my audio was messed up. Maybe I can only hear out of one ear because of my cold. But there were cheers when Tony Khan was being murdered.
Yes,
I think they've struggled. We'll see what happens this week, like you said, with Kenny returning and in the road to Dynamite. But I'm sorry, to Double or Nothing. But to me, this already seems like a huge win, just an unequivocal success for them. And just a few weeks ago, people were already, again, writing on the epitaph for AEW. And I think it's just another example of sometimes we get in our feelings. Sometimes we feel pressure to have an instant take on something. But I think it's actually going to work out for AEW.
Yeah, as long as they keep either making stars or keep their stars on TV, I think they're in great shape. And to your point about having Jack Perry face Swerve, he's with the EVPs now. They don't need a ranking system. If the EVPs are like, this is what's happening, you don't have a choice, be done. Then he can go out there and do it. I did pop for he learned from Christian Cage, from the learning tree of Christian Cage, with the smile, smirk look at the camera when he hugged Tony Khan. I thought that was great, but that was also a CM Punk reference, I think. So who knows? I just thought it was awesome. Okay, Tyler, mine's going to be pretty short. You ready?
I'm ready.
We had TK's neck, Jack Perry's return. Swerve was everywhere this week. 3 matches. I'll keep it simple, though. Is it time for the Acclaimed to go their separate ways?
Oh, wow. Not just go heel, but go their separate ways.
The larger question here is, how have you felt about Caster's raps lately?
For sure. Yeah. When we've kind of hinted at it on previous episodes and maybe in our own off-air conversations, what's going on with the Acclaim, what's going on with Caster and the sexual assault innuendos. I want them to stick together. I still really enjoy them as an act, and I'm glad they're getting back to tag teaming instead of going the trios route. I don't think it's time for them to separate, but I would love to see them return to being heel Acclaimed, even though, Brad, you and I can get on here, record, and share our thoughts from our couches. We don't share a couch, but maybe I'll see you this summer and we'll watch a show together. But it seems like in person, they're still over in front of crowds. So I want them to turn heel. Maybe they don't need to if they're still over amongst the live audience, but I don't know that I would want them to separate. I think Bowens would do well. I could see him in like the TNT title picture. For Caster, I love the raps, just without the problematic elements. I don't want them splitting up. I would rather them lean into being heels, kind of when they started and when they gained traction as heels. And I would like to see them being a staple of the tag division moving forward.
I don't have anything to add to that. That's exactly how I feel. I see all these people. Should they split up? Should Bowens go on a singles run? And I wouldn't hate seeing Bowens have gold because he's great.
Oh, yeah, he would be great. I think Caster would really not benefit from that situation.
I agree. If they split, Caster's going to be in trouble. Like, it's just kind of the way it is, and that sucks. But I think he works with Bowens, and I don't think that character works without him. Not to say that he couldn't find a character that does, but I think he would get lost in there a little bit. So Tyler, we haven't done this in a little while. I think maybe last week, maybe 4 weeks ago. It's really hard to tell. I don't really recall the last time we did it, but we're going to dig deeper. So play the music. Okay, lots and lots and lots of stuff going on Oak Island, and my problem here is I don't know what question I'm going to ask you yet. I couldn't come up with one, so I'm going to see if one comes to mind at the end here. They found a rock, a very important rock that was underneath a boulder. It is some form of conglomerate, and inside of it are animal hairs. They now found it. Just randomly, there's some animal hairs in there, waiting for lab analysis to come back, but it's under the boulder. If it comes back that that's oxen hair or horse hair, then it means the boulder was intentionally placed, and they can date it back to the time period in which it was placed, because some of this stuff is getting dated back to like crazy times. They also found a lead trade weight, more than likely, in the Lot 5 archaeological dig site. The team went on a research expedition in England and Iceland and around Europe. Actually, not England, just around Europe. And they found matching symbology from Vikings and Templar connections. They apparently had relationships at some point for trade or various other things. And it dates back, Tyler, to 1100. So this week, they do a final probe to find out if they're on the treasure or not. You got the season finale coming up. More than that, Skinwalker Ranch is back. They're doing all kinds of stuff on the ranch. We'll get into that next week. I don't want to spoil that, but that place is weird as hell. Also right on after Oak Island, so I'm super excited that I get to have these shows back. Somebody accused me of being a grandpa at school when I was talking about these the other day, which made me a little bit.
With the grandpa accusation.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say this Is there a show outside of The Bachelor, Tyler, that you watch that would get you accused of being an old person?
Wow.
Is it an NCIS? Is it?
It's not NCIS. Would CBS Sunday Morning count?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. I don't watch it faithfully though, but when I do, that would have to be my
Dateline would have counted too, but I don't know if you're watching a lot of Dateline these days.
I'm fully ingrained in Dateline.
There you go. Dateline would get that friend. That would be the one that would get you.
That would be it. So there's 2020 and
I think Dateline their target demo is Keith. So if that's what they look like, I think, and that's it.
Wow.
That's how you know.
I wonder if 2020 skews younger demo. Because they're basically the same on Friday nights. If you want a murder mystery, you got to choose at 8 o'clock, 2020, or you go in Dateline. But 2020 doesn't come with the grandpa accusations. That's interesting.
I don't know. 2020 comes with the grandpa.
Does it really?
Anything on network TV like that is a
okay. It's got to be one of those for me because I faithfully watch both programs.
See, they have total viewers is around 2020 and Dateline total viewers 3.78 million viewers versus 3.566.
Oh wow.
639,000 adults 18 to 49.
Wow. That's interesting. I'm a part of that demo.
Yes, the other 2.75 million are above 49.
I would, yeah.
So
that's hilarious.
All you have to do when you watch it is check out the commercials.
You know what? That's a great point. There's a lot of Ozempic, and all the ones.
Yeah,
That's hilarious. That's a great point though. You really just look at the advertisements. That
that's
tells
how
you
I
who they're
know.
working with.
That's
That's so
that's
true.
all you need to know
Do
is
you remember back in the day? I think you and I share this in common. Back in the day when we would this is very like 2003 and then the years that follow.
more
Watch
2003. Got it. Yeah.
watching Around the Horn, PTI.
Yes.
I feel like the commercials were strictly. Oh my gosh, I wish I remember the name. The
Tom
one.
Cruise hover round was one of them. The little electric cart scooter
Yes.
gimmick.
I see. I was gonna go. What's the supplement that Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie endorse? It's
Total
like
T.
Nugenics, Total
Eugenics, Total
T,
T. Yeah.
Bio.
Yeah. I don't know if that
You're
was
like at the. You're like
2003, but yeah.
at the.
Wilfred Brimley selling you diabetic
Yeah.
supplies. Yeah.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you or a loved one has diabetes. Yeah. That guy. Yeah. His big caterpillar mustache. Yeah.
And not laughing at diabetes, laughing at the absurdity of the commercials.
Brimley.
That we see.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to belabor the point. I agree. It's all about the advertisements,
Yeah.
and now I'm going to think critically about when I watch Dateline, when I watch 2020. I'm one of the 649,000 in the 18 to 49 demo who watches this.
And good for you. And you're not alone. You're getting like, I don't know, you're getting collision numbers there. So like, do you like what you like? I'm not here to rain on your parade here. Like I
Even
watch
if
crap
kids
that old
accuse you.
people watch. What do I care? I like what
Grandpa's
I like.
fun.
I like to enjoy what's on the TV when I go into it. And if it's something that other people enjoy and they're old, cool. Curse of Oak Island, I'm sure the demo is all retirees that are like, I wish I could have gone on a treasure hunt. Every time I watch this, if I talk to my dad about it, he's like, man, they spend a lot of money on that, huh? So it's like, I feel like that's the driving force. And for me, I'm going, what the hell went on this island? And that's all I care about. I don't care if they find the treasure. I just want to know who put that road there. Why was it there before anybody knew America was there? Like, what is happening here? So that's my driving force. So yeah, you like what you like, even if it's grandpa stuff.
Even if it's grandpa stuff, you got to embrace it.
The Goldberg and Osborne ad coming on.
That
the eagle screaming. Yeah.
The eagle. Yes. Lots of law advertisements as well. If you notice, lots of lawyers around here, which maybe inherently isn't a bad thing, but
no, but if I have to hear another lawyer say the words vaginal mesh again, I'm probably going to break my TV. It is a thing that happens. It's all the different lawsuits throughout a show, especially if you hit reruns around 5 to 6 p.m. on like TBS or TNT or one of those cable stations.
Big Bang Theory.
Any of them. Like go to commercial break and it's over. It's over for you. You're getting the Eagle. You're getting Lerner and Rowe. You're getting accident attorneys. You're getting all these. Yeah, it's over.
That's hilarious. I have no transition out of this, Brad, but I want to know, what did we miss this week? Surely there's something.
Oh, there's something. Candace Parker today retired, announced retirement.
You took my note. Let's talk about it. Candace
would.
Ace. Hall of Famer.
I'm gonna leave you to your thoughts here. I just wanted to bring it up and ruin it for you. The NHL playoffs have been great. Really, really, really fun. It started off really great with some overtime wins, a couple of blowouts since then. The Panthers went up on the Lightning 3-0. They were ready to close out, and the Panthers put up 6. The Lightning put up 6 on the Panthers. Absolutely destroyed them. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth. Fallout 4, a game that came out in 2015, got an update this week. Pretty crazy. They did a graphical update and added a new mission. And also people that have never played the game are now getting the full Bethesda treatment. Bugs galore, things crashing all over the place. So made me laugh a little bit, but I've only played for about a half an hour and I was like, it's working fine for me. That half an hour is probably all I'm going to put in. TK was all over the draft, talked about him already. Last thing I want to say, Jim Cornette is a racist, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And I don't care if that graphic art was because he compared himself to Mighty Joe Young. That simply cannot happen. And I'm sure you've seen it at this point. Don't care what the justification is. That can't happen. That's it.
Well said. I have a few happy ones. Like you said, Brad, Candace Parker, announced her retirement today, just a few hours before our recording. One of the greatest of all time, definitely moved the game forward. She walked so the Caitlin Clarks and Angel Reeses of the world could fly. Really big shout out to her. Second shout out, Jordan Morgan,
Yes.
Marana
I can't believe I
Tiger,
missed this one.
University of Arizona Wildcat, and now, by the grace of the universe, a Green Bay Packer. Brad, how are you feeling? First round pick, number 25. Jordan was walking the halls of Marana High School just a few years ago when both you and I were there, and now he's in the NFL. Really humble dude, just by all accounts, a great, talented young man. He's going to your squad. How do you feel?
I feel like I'm going to be picking up a jersey when I'm up there in about a month is how I feel. Whether or not it's custom, I don't know if they're going to be printing Jordan Morgan jerseys up there,
I
but
hope so.
I sure
Go
hope
go
so.
with like
if
a
they
good
do.
number, like 68 or 74.
Yeah,
I forget which number he wore in college. He
I
was
have no
around
idea.
there.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. I've seen so many pictures of him in Packers uniforms now that I don't know. Photoshop's been on another
Photoshop
level for
edits.
him. Yeah, it's so many.
There are so many Packers podcasts as well. I googled Jordan Morgan on
It's
YouTube
nuts.
the day after the draft. This would have
It's
been
nuts.
Friday, and there's like Locked On Packers, Packers Pivot, Cheesehead City. Like there's so many.
There's so many, man. There's so many, but I'm really happy for him. I had to call my dad or text my dad and text my brother and say, "Hey, you're getting a good player." And he was like, "Well, can he play?" I was like, "Yes. That's why he got drafted in the first round." But I
Yes.
was like, "Yeah, good kid, went to the school." And then my mom got back to me, was like, "Good. I told dad I made a chicken recipe." It's like, "Okay, you don't care." So I got to call dad later.
Yeah. Let us know how that
Yeah.
goes. He
Yeah.
and he really, like, his U of A career was so interesting because they had a 20 game losing streak while he was on that team. His freshman sophomore year,
Yeah.
the Cats were down bad, but he stuck it out. He worked on his craft, and now look at where he's at.
Well,
Pretty.
I feel like that's probably pretty close to where he was when he started at Marana too. When you remember that program was in the
Yes.
dirt, and then
Mirrored
it
each
came up,
other.
and then
Great
boom,
point.
playoffs.
Great point.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great point, Brad. My final note, the new Zendaya movie, Challengers. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this,
Yeah.
about tennis and like a
Yeah.
little trifecta sexual tension situation.
Yeah, I saw the interview about her not being able to watch it with her parents.
You know what's so interesting about you saying that? I promise listeners and viewers, we did not plan this. The reason I'm bringing this up, of course, flowers to Zendaya always, but because my parents asked me if I wanted to see this film with them. And I said, and both of them thought this was a worthy question. I said, I love you both very much, but no, I don't want to see Challengers with my parents. No, thank you. So they understood and they saw it and they said it was really good, Brad. They enjoyed it.
Good.
I'm happy for them.
I wouldn't go with your parents to see this. I'm not
think
going
that's
with
a
any
decision.
parents to see this.
No.
I don't know
never.
that I'm going to see this until it comes out on one of my
Yeah.
25 streaming platforms. But
Exactly. Yeah, it's max bound for sure.
yeah.
But it apparently was good, and Zendaya has totally ascended to become one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, which is really, really awesome. Speaking of awesome, Brad, what a great edition of GI. We thank you all so much for joining us, especially if you made it to this point in the episode. We appreciate you. We hope you enjoy Backlash this weekend. We hope you go see Challengers, maybe with family members, maybe not. It'll be your choice. In the meantime, check us out, gimmickinfringement.pod. Let's try that again, Brad. gimmickinfringementpod.com.
You really are sick.
Is our official website. You can find us on social media, search Gimmick Infringement Pod. You can also search us at GI Pod 19, and we will see you next week. Gimmick Infringement is a part of 19 Media Group. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube via the 19 Media Group channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.